All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, I'm going over the weekly vendor armor refresh and giving you a PSA on all of the S tier armor and even some of the A tier armor, because not all of it is exactly S tier, okay? I do say this every single time, is that you really want to find armor that's like in the 60 plus stats, but you get that from doing end game activities. However, the armor you find from the vendors, they're more like in the mid 50s, but sometimes they're slotted absolutely perfectly 10 out of 10. And the nice added bonus to getting these vendor armors is that you can buy multiple of them, which is really nice. When you get a nice armor piece to drop from doing trials, for example, you get one. When a good armor piece is available at a vendor, you can buy 2, 3, 4, 5. You can buy 10 if you want, and then you can have them for your PvP builds, your PvE builds, Gambit builds, anything, so on and so forth. It's amazing. You definitely want to pick up these armor pieces because they're very strong inside Destiny. Starting off first, we are on our Hunter, and there's a chest piece from the Drifter that has a 59 stat roll, which is extremely high for the vendors. Not extremely high overall necessarily, but extremely high for the vendors because usually they're around the mid 50s. So I figured I would mention this and bring this to you all. It's got 16 resilience, which if you remember, like I've mentioned before, you need 5 resilience if you're playing in Crucible, 7 mobility, 6 recovery. It's a little low on the recovery side. Usually I try to promote high recovery armor over everything, but you know, with a 59 roll sitting there, especially on the Hunter where all the stats are really good, I definitely felt like this was worth mentioning to you all. So this is the first armor piece we're going to look at. Now let's go to the next vendor. Next up, we are at Zavala, and we're still on the Hunter. He has a pair of gauntlets that have a 52 stat, but it does have high recovery and high discipline, which is really nice in the current Crucible meta. If you don't know, those stasis nades, the ones that track on the ground, are super nasty, and high recovery builds are also really strong. 52, a little on the lower side, but definitely not a bad pair of gauntlets for your Hunter. He has a chest piece as well. It's got 14 resilience, 10 recovery, and 10 discipline. Again, with just this gauntlet and this chest piece alone, you can get that really high discipline build, which will be super nice in the current Crucible meta. And also a pair of boots that are actually respectably good. It's got 8 recovery and 18 discipline. So overall, even from Zavala alone, you can almost piece together that nice high recovery, high discipline build, if that's what you're looking for. And I think it's definitely worth mentioning. All these armor pieces are good, and you might want to go grab them from Zavala this week. Now let's move on to the last vendor for our Hunter, who has a great piece of armor for us. And the last armor piece we're going to look at on our Hunter is from Devrim. He has an excellent pair of boots with 16 resilience, 8 recovery, and an insane 21 discipline. So this is going to give you that crazy build I'm told you about. I really think that a high discipline build is going to be super strong in the current Crucible meta. Whether you're playing Titan or Warlock or Hunter, those cold snap grenades are just too strong right now. They freeze people. They give you a huge damage bonus for a huge amount of time. You can 2-tap people with 120s. It's very strong. I really think you should definitely try and focus on having a high discipline build inside the current Crucible. Now let's move over to our next character, the Titan. All right, and now I'm on my Titan, and if you go back to Devrim, but on your Titan this time, he has a crazy helmet here with 23 resilience, 14 intellect, and 12 strength. Okay, those are some amazing stats, and they're all in the right place, especially for Titan. Right now, if you have high resilience, you get your Titan wall back really fast. A lot of people are running side tans, ramparts inside the Crucible. I don't really want to encourage Titans to do that. I recommend using mobility and using movement and taking mid control of every map, but if you're going to rock that build, it is there for you. Along with that, you get 14 intellect, which is going to get your super back really fast, which is especially important with Behemoth. And you get strength, which gives you that melee, which you have that super strong slide melee, stasis melee, which is so strong. You can freeze people instantly. You can shut down supers. This helmet is amazing. You should grab this on your Titan. Now let's go over to the next vendor. And now we're at the Drifter, but we are still on our Titan. And if you go to the Drifter on your Titan this week, you can actually see he has an excellent chest piece, again, with that high resilience build. 19 resilience, 6 recovery, 13 discipline, a little bit of intellect, and a little bit of strength, and especially nice that it has no mobility. Okay, this is a 52 stat overall, so a little on the lower side, but all the stats are in the right places, and you can create a absolutely nasty build for your Behemoth Titan using this chest piece. Now let's go on to our third and final character, the Warlock, and I'll show you what good armors there are from the vendors for this week. And now I'm on the Warlock for this week, and if you go to Drifter again, you'll find that he has a chest piece here that has 12 mobility, which is not especially good for the Warlock, but not too bad depending upon what subclass you play. It's got 14 resilience, which is good. You definitely need to have some resilience, and it has an insane 25 intellect on this chest piece with an overall stat of 57, which is really high for these vendor armors. Okay, now it doesn't have any recovery, so you're going to need to have other good recovery armor pieces to go with this, but this will definitely create some really unique builds for your Warlock. Okay, so definitely don't overlook this. It's probably not an S tier armor piece necessarily, but it's definitely a good one. It's definitely worth getting, I think, for your Warlock. Now let's go to the last vendor on our Warlock, and if you go to Devrim, he actually has a helmet with a 58 stat overall, 16 recovery, which is definitely what you want, especially on your Warlock, to get those class abilities back really fast. And then you have discipline and intellect and a little bit of strength and a little bit of waste mobility. But he also has a gauntlet here with 17 resilience, 7 recovery, a good amount of discipline, strength as well. And to go along with it as well, there's a decent pair of boots with 19 recovery and 13 discipline. So some great armors there from Devrim. So there you have it. That's your weekly vendor armor refresh PSA. Get out there, grab those armors, and create some cool builds inside Destiny 2. Let me know what builds you're rocking in the comment section below. And make sure to subscribe with notifications on. If you did enjoy the video, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.